Doki Doki Takeover. You know it, the invasion of the Literature Club into the world of Funkin, and vice versa. But what do we really know about it? Here's 10 things about Doki Doki Takeover Plus. And hey, if you like these type of videos and want to see more, be sure to hit that sub button and be the first to see them as they come out. Alright, let's get into it. Doki Doki Takeover is an addition/sequel to the full week mod vs. Monica, a single week that sees the return of the hating sim stage but with a new self-aware opponent. The mod's latest edition, Doki Doki Takeover Plus, is named after the paid DLC for the game it's based on, Doki Doki Literature Club Plus. Plus adds 2 new weeks to the main story of the original Takeover, alternate unlockable costumes for most of the characters, and just more content in general. Team TBD worked on over a year to bring this mod to its conclusion, which is evident in the fact that it has well over 3 hours of content. Team TBD produced a mod that was not only true to the base game aesthetically, but also emulates the writing and themes of its source material. The main story begins with the original vs. Monica week, now with updated sprites for the character. This story starts out around Act 3 of Literature Club, as Monica has been deleted from her game and somehow made it to Hating Simulator. This week eventually culminates in Senpai fighting her for his microphone, and her flexing some of her meta powers and deleting his character and stage files before the final showdown with Boyfriend. The instant kill eye notes are called Eyes of Markov, in reference to the Portrait of Markov novel, which is described as having a giant eye on the cover. She eventually decides to leave Boyfriend alone and makes amends with Senpai through one last song. Boyfriend and girlfriend then find themselves in the world of Doki Doki Literature Club, and now have a whole room of fresh faces to rap battle and sing with. As each week goes on, it becomes more and more apparent that the game is being glitched without Monica. The game bugging out when the line, "After all, I am club president," is spoken by Sayori is a reference to the fact that characters that become president of the Literature Club gain self-awareness. Natsuki's blacked out eyes and cracked neck in her jump scare dialogue are a reference to her death in Literature Club. Yuri's second song quickly becomes sinister, with the sudden appearance of the red eye notes from the first week and her overall scary demeanor reflecting her obsessive nature. Monica, who is able to sense that the game she originated from is breaking, returns to the Literature Club and proceeds to crash the mod, resetting events and undoing the corruption. This is unfortunate for Senpai, who actually became enamored by Monica during her time in Hating Sim. Monica then sings a song of retribution, sealing the peace between her and Boyfriend and girlfriend. The final week of the original Literature Club Takeover finally features DDLC's protagonist, MC, which stands for main character. Though MC's face is never seen in-game, his Doki Doki Takeover design is based on the few glimpses of their features in-game, and the concept sketch found in Literature Plus. Speaking of the designs, Monica's idol and other Literature Club members' background character idols are all based on their poses in-game. In his final week, Boyfriend produces a backlog of tracks of songs he knows, setting up the upcoming covers. Yuri does a cover of Crucify from Friday Night Fever. Natsuki does a cover of Vs. Cappy's song Beethoven. Sayori covers It's Complicated from Friday Night Funkin' Soft. And finally, Monica covers Glitcher from Vs. X. 2 new story mode weeks have been added in Plus, Encore and Protagonist. Encore week features 4 songs starring the main character of Literature Club. They each take turns singing with Monica before the entire group decides to sing together in the week's finale. A sort of touching reconciliation for the events of Literature Club before this. The week ends with a tease for the upcoming Protagonist week. In this week, we finally get to hear MC's singing prowess, who's so enamored by the song he's singing he doesn't notice the other club members entering the room. The next song, You and Me, shows MC singing to himself before the camera pans up and asks the player who their Doki is, giving them the option of the 4 club members. Don't worry about dying due to taking too long to choose, doing so unlocks a new skin for MC. Depending on who you choose, the song drastically changes from opponent to opponent, giving replayability to the track. After this song, it's revealed that Boyfriend and girlfriend have found a way to bridge the gap between worlds and bring the Doki characters over to Funkin. The final track of the main story, Takeover Melody, acts as a sort of send-off for the mod, containing the motifs of many songs heard during the journey thus far. After beating the festival week, the player unlocks the free play song Epiphany. The setting is a frontward-facing profile of Monica in the club room, as previously seen in the prologue song, Your Demise. This is based on the scene in Act 3 of Literature Club where Monica confronts the player. On startup, Epiphany will check whether OBS is open and changes the dialogue, having Monica address everyone watching. This is of course a reference to the jump scare in the base game that happens if the player is running XSplit or OBS. To be honest, when I saw the command prompt show up, I started sweating. Epiphany is objectively the most difficult track of the mod, with frequent Eyes of Markov placed within rapidly playing notes. The song ends with Monica's character files being deleted, just as the player needs to do so in Doki Doki Act 3. When returning to the free play menu afterward, Monica will tell the player, "Come back soon." When the player boots up Epiphany again, Monica's dialogue will change, instead asking the player if they could find a way around the game deleting her at the end of the song. This time when deleted, Monica will shrug before vanishing, unlocking a secondary version of Epiphany with actual sung lyrics. In the opening of the song, Monica will refer to the player by which user they are on Windows. Just like Literature Club Plus, Takeover Plus adds new side stories to the main story. These side stories are all single song weeks, each with their own unique story. Love and Funkin pits the Doki Doki girls against Girlfriend, who rarely gets to sing. The song features some poetry exercises, but the Doki girls do not like what Girlfriend wrote due to being vulgar. The next week, Constricted opens up with the girls talking about their time in Funkin, with Natsuki claiming she got in a screaming match with Sunday, and Yuri says she connected with Tabby over their similar love of collecting knives. Likely at the restaurant he blows up in versus Tabby. Sayori states that she met someone and brought them back to meet everyone. Zipper from Friday Night Funkin' Restraint. The line, "Put that thing back where it came from or so help me," is a line from Monsters Incorporated. The next side story, Catfight, pits Natsuki and Yuri together and has the player pick which side they play for. The song is worth a replay as both characters simply because both versions unlock new skins. Finally, Wilted sees the return of Senpai as he attempts to break through the Doki Doki world to meet his beloved Monica, invoking the powers of the spirit within him. Senpai appears on a dating sim window on the player's desktop next to the Doki Doki window, finally reuniting with Monica. Since we know from the base game's weak art that Hating Sim is on a PlayStation 1, either Doki Doki is on that hardware, or Hating Sim is being run on an emulator. During this song, Senpai will flex some of their new meta powers by switching up the art styles of both his and Monica's pop-ups. But they only have the same art style at once when Monica tells Senpai to listen here and changes them both back. This track is heavily inspired and contains motifs of the Scissor Sisters song I Can't Decide. As the player goes through story mode, several free play tracks are unlocked in tandem. The first of these is Poems and Thorns, another track with Senpai and Monica fighting over the microphone, which in my opinion deserves to actually be in the main Monica week. Though Spirit was never an opponent in the main or side story modes, we do see them make an appearance in the song Dual Demise. As opposed to Monica and Senpai fighting each other while also rap battling, Monica and Spirit team up to take down the cyan-haired menace. The next free play track is a cover of the song Titular from Versus Imposter. This song is likely missing from the festival week with all the covers due to MC not having the confidence to sing until later in the story. Though MC isn't the titular character of their game the way that Henry Stickmin is, this cover is perfect because he is the main character. Players have probably noticed by now that every song in the game has pause menu art based on who is in the song. After all of the main story and side story tracks have been completed, the player will be informed that something is shaking up on the main menu in a previously unseen style of text box. Sure enough, on the main menu there is a spinning cocktail shaker, which when clicked will begin the song Drinks on Me. Drinks on Me is based on the game Valhalla, Cyberpunk Bartender Action, a bartending sim and visual novel. The song begins the same way as the game does, and features the player character Jill as the main opponent. As the song goes on, the bar begins to fill out with some of the game's characters, Dana, Alma, Dorothy, and Anna briefly on the bar screen. The text that scrolls by mid-song is the actual font used in the game. Before we move on to the very last song of the mod, let's talk about the Easter eggs found in the custom costumes. Doki Doki Takeover Plus will actually reward players with certain costumes early if the game finds save data from other mods. A few examples being Friday Night Funkin' Soft, versus Tabby, and versus Sunday. Even if the player doesn't have these saves on their system, there are alternate ways to achieve these costumes. Boyfriend and Girlfriend both have minus, soft, and hollow funk costume skins on top of their usual appearance. Boyfriend also has a Mr. Cow outfit based on the stuffed animal of Sayori's, and Girlfriend has a TBD tan costume, the personification of the team that made Doki Doki Takeover. All of the Doki girls have alternate casual outfits, as well as alternatives to those like Valentine, Sleepwear, Skater, and Derby. Each of the girls' festival outfits are based on the original singers of the songs they covered in Festival Week, and all of their friends' skins are based on the friends they made in the main and side stories from the Funkin' world. Monica has an outfit based on Doki Doki Vigilante, a Doki Doki mod inspired heavily by Persona 5. Sayori's picnic skin is a reference to the character Basil from Omori. Natsuki's antipathy skin dresses her up like Hank J. Wimbledon, and I'm actually not sure if Yuri's picnic outfit is a reference to anything, but if you know, let me know down below. MC has the least outfits out of everyone: regular, casual, Rude Number 1's appearance in Hotline 024, and Blue Skies. Each character has a custom Blue Skies outfit, based on the Doki Doki Literature Club mod of the same name. Blue Skies overhauls the original Doki Doki, but places more importance on the relationships between characters as opposed to the heavy psychological themes of the base game. Natsuki has a hidden skin that is unlocked by holding B while selecting her regular costume. This is Buff Natsuki, a skin based on the joke portrait of Natsuki, only absolutely shredded. After all of the songs available have been played, there's one final track unlocked for the player. Libertina is a song based on the teased but unannounced upcoming project by the creator of Doki Doki, known as Project Libertina. Libertina's appearance in both regular and inverted colors are based on the image found when opening Natsuki's .character file as an image, which reveals strange, smoky-looking abstract art. Inverting the colors and shape mapping it correctly reveals the visage of a light-haired girl with white pupils, presumably Libertina. A hidden QR code found in Sayori's character file reveals a website called projectlibertina.com that catalogs experiments done to measure someone's third eye response. These discoveries caused ARG hunters to dig through files and try to solve mysterious findings regarding the project, a lot of which I don't really understand. There's a really cool video about it by Smack and Pie that I will link right here, so check it out. And that's 10 things about Doki Doki Takeover Plus. I hope you enjoyed. Congrats on Team DBD for such an amazing launch. I'm sure it was incredibly satisfying putting this whole project together considering how much love went into it, and I look forward to whatever the next big project is. Alright, thanks for watching. Until next time.